Welcome back to Thinking Out Loud. Thank you for staying with us. You know, a lot of people, young and old, have issues in their family with, as people age, some of them are having maybe some mental issues. Alzheimer's is something that we're all becoming all too familiar with. Well, we're going to talk about that from the Alzheimer's Association of Southeastern Virginia. Please welcome Christine Warfel. Hi, Christine. Thank you so much for being here. Please have a seat. Alzheimer's is something we were talking before the show. I have some issues with that in my family, but maybe a lot of people don't. So let me start with the basics here. What is Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer's is a progressive degenerative disease of the brain, and it will eventually rob the individual of the ability to think, to reason, to plan. So it's just not about forgetting. Yeah. They get to a point where they don't recognize their family and friends and former coworkers, and they really can't care for themselves anymore, and they need care 24/7.
Yeah. Now I know I've asked this question. A lot of people are confused. What's the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia? Are they the same thing?
Dementia, if you want to look at it as an umbrella, under that umbrella falls many different forms of dementia, with Alzheimer's being the most common.
Okay.
So that's the easiest way to look at it.
So they're not the same thing.
Alzheimer's
not really the same. Is a form of dementia.
Is a form of dementia, right.
Now, a lot of us, again, have had experience with this, either directly or indirectly. And how common is it, though? A lot of people maybe don't have that experience, hopefully.
I don't know that I want to say it's common, but I think with our aging population, the baby boomers, we're going to be seeing more cases of Alzheimer's, hearing more about it, and we're talking more openly about it these days, which I think is a good thing. Right now, there are over 5 million people who've been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and out of that number are about 200,000 with younger onset Alzheimer's, and that's someone under the age of 60.
Really?
Yes.
So you don't have to be 80 or 90 to...
No, it's not just a disease for old people. And anyone can be susceptible to the disease.
Yeah. Well, is there any way to prevent it? Is there a...
Right now, there is no prevention, although we can all work at taking care of ourselves by living a healthy lifestyle. You know, eating healthy, exercising, doing all those brain games that we hear about. If we remember that our brain is a muscle, just like any other muscle in our body, and we've got to work it out, just like we exercise the other muscles in our body. And because there is no known prevention at this point, I'm assuming there's no cure yet? Or there is no cure. Are we getting closer? We are getting closer, and I'm excited to say that. Federal funding has been increased just last year by $350 million. That's a first, which takes us up to $1 billion towards research, and our ultimate goal is $2 billion, and we are getting closer every day.
Are there people who maybe suspect that their family member or their spouse or someone is maybe starting to show early signs, or are there, what do you advise for people who may be in that kind of, not sure yet what this is?
Right. The first step is to accept that your loved one is changing in some way, and so go to the doctor first. Have tests run, and then reach out to the Alzheimer's Association. We are there to help in so many different ways. There's a helpline that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in 170 languages. So all an individual has to do is call 1-800-272-3900, and there's someone on the other end of that phone to help them through whatever the situation might be.
And those problems could be legal problems, personal,
to answer
relationship
any of your questions, or if a caregiver is having an issue with their loved one, they can call that number and get help as to how to deal with that particular situation.
Now, the Alzheimer's Association of Southeast Virginia, now, where does your funding come from? Do you have to raise funds? What do you do?
Well, we are a nonprofit. The Alzheimer's Association is the world's largest nonprofit health organization in Alzheimer's care, support, and research. So yes, we do have to look to the community for funding. Yes, and that's what helps us provide the services that we do to our families and those individuals who've been diagnosed.
Now, it just been several weeks ago, I attended an event called the Beach Ball.
Yes.
Out in Virginia Beach.
Yes.
That it was, I think, a very successful fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association. Now, is that the one thing you do all year, or do you have other things coming up?
No, we have many events, and that's a very successful one every year, and we are so grateful to the Parrot Heads.
Yeah, Parrot Head Club.
Yes, yes. We do have a memory walk that takes place in the fall, and we have 6 different walks. They are fundraisers, and the one that's coming up in June is called The Longest Day, and I'm so excited to talk about that.
Yeah, well, tell me.
It's
What's
a unique, very unique event. It takes place on the summer solstice, and folks go to www.alz.org/TLD to register.
Okay.
Once their team is registered, then they decide whatever activity they want to do, and they do that activity anytime from the time they register up to and including June 20th. So for instance, if you like to hike, if you like to read, if you like to walk, if you like to swim, whatever it is, you do that and you get folks to give you donations towards your efforts.
That is very cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, and maybe have you done that before? Is this an annual thing?
This is the 4th year.
Okay.
This is the 4th year, yes, and it is an annual event.
Very interesting. I know that people, again, need someone to, especially when they're first starting to deal with this issue, and it's good to know that you can help them at least figure out what to do.
Yes, we're there for them, again, 24/7. All they have to do is make that call.
Well, Christine, I know this is such a broad topic, and we're out of time. I knew we'd run out of time too quickly, but we did have got the website up there and the phone number.
Wonderful.
So if anyone needs help, please call Christine and her cohorts, and they can help.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here, Christine.
It's a
Very
pleasure.
good. Appreciate the work that you and the organization do. And that's going to wrap up Thinking Out Loud for this week. We hope you'll be here next week for another great show. We'll see you then.